They know what they're pumping in their bodies. They know what they're doing their bodies. They know they're abusing their bodies, and they don't want to be told how much damage they've done to their bodies, because they don't want to stop competing. They don't want to stop being as big as they are, as ripped, as shredded, looking good, looking great, and they don't want to, they don't want to have to stop their lifestyles. Yeah, what's going on, guys? Seth Spartan here. So we're back, guys. Today we're going to be talking about none other than pro bodybuilder stupidity. What exactly am I going to be talking about? Well, hopefully, guys, if you haven't watched the last video I did on this channel, go watch that. That video was called Anabolic Steroids, The Truth. So I highly advise you go watch that, or at least some of it, before you watch this video, because I'm going to not quite be piggybacking off of it, but I'm going to touch on a lot of things, and I'm not going to go quite as far into depth and into detail on some of the science and some of the things that are occurring in this video. So guys, what am I talking about? Let's get started. All right, guys, Seth Spartan here. So today we're talking about pro bodybuilder stupidity, as you just heard. So what am I talking about in specific? Well, regarding my last video, I covered how pretty much every, and most doctors or endocrinologists worth their salt will agree with this, almost every single side effect or major health concern regarding anabolic steroids and high dose testosterone can be mitigated, except two things. There's two things that you cannot get rid of with anabolic steroid use, all right? Plaque buildup in the arteries and heart wall thickening, okay? So I talked about this in my other video. I'm not going to get into it again, but basically these are the two things that no matter what you do in your diet, no matter what you do, you can't get rid of this completely, all right? And I talked about myself and heart wall thickening leading to heart dysfunction in my last video, Anabolic Steroids, The Truth. And again, I highly advise you go watch that. If not a big deal. Just look up what I'm talking about. So, pro bodybuilder stupidity. Guys, this is the blunt, honest truth of the matter. And if you're a pro bodybuilder or, an amateur or whatever, listen to what I'm saying here, because I'm just going to say it once, nice, and give you a firm, my opinion and why this pro bodybuilder stupidity is going on. And then you guys can do whatever you want or think whatever you want. But guys, here's the blunt, honest truth of the matter. I'm going to say, based on everything that I know, based on what's happened with myself, based on everything, okay, in the bodybuilding world, 80 to 90% of professional bodybuilders, okay, IFBB pro bodybuilders, or even bodybuilders in other federations, which you can, which are untested, 80 to 90% of pro bodybuilders, guys, have some amount of heart wall thickening, and because of this, heart dysfunction, the same as I used to have. Again, go watch my video. I didn't want to talk about everything in my other video, but I did, in terms of health issues and everything, really everything. Okay, so having said that, why is this? What can you do about it? What's the solution? And why is nobody ringing the bell? Why am I being like the whistleblower on this? Why am I talking about this? Well, let's get into that. So let's break this down. First and foremost, if you're an IFBB pro bodybuilder, or any other federation around the world which is untested, which are the those are all the major federations, right? So if you're an IFBB pro bodybuilder or the equivalent, okay, you cannot. It's not cannot. It is extremely 95% ish, somewhere around there ish, extremely unlikely that you can compete as an IFBB pro bodybuilder without using anabolic steroids or high doses of testosterone, okay? And and that's not even including growth hormone abuse and misuse, and also insulin abuse and misuse, which exacerbate the problem of heart wall thickening. I talked about plaque buildup in the arteries too, but the thing is, we're going to focus on the heart wall thickening, because this is what what makes people drop dead. It can be a combination of the two, but usually what makes people drop dead is the heart wall thickening, leading to heart dysfunction, valve issues, pumping issues, irregular heartbeat, and all this stuff. So here's the thing, and this is going to be pretty much the blunt, honest, point of this video is that pro bodybuilder stupidity. 80 to 90% of pro bodybuilders around the world are going to have heart wall thickening and heart dysfunction, okay? And this is going to drastically increase their chances of heart attack, dropping dead, and all sorts of heart-related issues, okay? Now, you're gonna ask me, well, why is it, and go watch my video, I explain all this in Anabolic Steroids, the Truth. I just did that video. If you want more information, I'm gonna try to keep this video shorter and not rant like I always do. But you're gonna ask me, well, why is it 80 to 90% of these guys have, some amount of heart wall thickening and heart dysfunction? 80 to 90% of pro bodybuilders have this problem. Why is it nobody's talking about it, and why is it nobody's doing anything about it? Well, first and foremost, there is not only some ignorance in this regard. So yes, some pro bodybuilders are just plain simple and ignorant, where they're not getting their heart checked. And what do I mean? They're not getting an echocardiogram done to image their heart. So, and maybe their coaches aren't having them do it. Maybe they're not, they just unaware of it. Maybe, I don't want to say they're stupid, but maybe they're just ignorant of, what they're doing. And I'm sure there's some people that fit this category. But most of the time, I'm going to call it forced ignorance or neglect on their body. They know what they're doing. They know they're taking high amounts of testosterone or anabolics or GH, insulin. And let me be dead honest and clear. You can get plenty of heart wall thickening and heart dysfunction and issues just from taking anabolic steroids or high testosterone alone, without the GH, without the insulin. The GH and the insulin just make it worse, okay, and faster, okay? So we got ignorance, and we've got forced ignorance or body neglect. They know what they're putting in their body, they know what they're doing, and they don't want to get this image. This is the most common reason, okay? This is what you're gonna find the most, my opinion. You guys can think what you want, but this is what you're gonna find the most common reason. The pro bodybuilders and the coaches, maybe not all of them, hopefully, but a lot of them, we got the ignorance, but also the main thing is the forced ignorance or the body neglect, where, most pro bodybuilders or coaches, hopefully not most coaches, but I don't know for certain, but they don't want to get these tests done. They don't want to get an echocardiogram done. They don't want to get their heart imaged. They don't want to get stuff checked out, because they know what they're pumping in their bodies. They know what they're doing in their bodies. They know they're abusing their bodies, and they don't want to be told how much damage they've done to their bodies, because they don't want to stop competing. They don't want to stop being as big as they are, as ripped, as shredded, looking good, looking great, and they don't want to, they don't want to have to stop their lifestyle. So yes, you got some people that are just plain ignorant, and some coaches, but most oftentimes it's going to be, like I said, forced ignorance, if you want to call it that, or body neglect, whichever of the two you want to call it. That's going to be most often, okay? So, and the thing is, why don't people talk about this? Probably the same reason, I'm talking about it, because I'm Seth Spartan, but I feel like most people don't want to talk about it is because, they want to paint. It's the same reason why you hear, whether it's, all these rappers or all of these people in the music, Hollywood, all these industry, where they talk about, this is just a comparison. They talk about smoking weed and how great it is, and all these, all the rap songs, they're smoking weed, or they're getting baked, and this and that. There's such a positive light on weed, on cannabis. And the thing is that, okay, there are some benefits to cannabis. Okay, I'm not going to get into this now, but there are huge negatives with cannabis use too, okay? Especially if you use cannabis while the brain is still developing. If you're a man, your brain does not fully develop until 25. You know, I'll just cite this and we can move on. You know, one of the studies I saw was, you know, if your brain has not been formed yet, okay, so if you're a male under 25 and you're smoking weed, you permanently damage your brain. I believe it was the hippocampus. I'd have to double check to make sure, and you can pull up that study on Google. But so the thing is that, you know, it's glorified. You know, smoking weed is so glorified, but people don't want to talk about the negatives because people want to promote drug use, okay, and irresponsible behavior. I guess it's the same thing with alcohol, right? You know, you see all these alcohol commercials, and people don't understand that even with one drink of alcohol, you're killing brain cells, okay? If there's damage done from one drink, I'm not telling you guys can't have a beer every once in a while or something, but, you know, the thing is that be aware. Even one drink of alcohol will kill neurons in your brain, okay? It is a toxin. All right. I tried not to rant, but I couldn't help myself. So in the same way with these things, it's the same way with anabolic steroids. People wanna take anabolic steroids. They wanna be strong out of their mind. They wanna be jacked. They wanna be massive. They wanna be shredded. They wanna do, if they're a pro bodybuilder, they wanna continue their lifestyle. They wanna compete. They wanna be on top, and they don't wanna do nothing to stop what they're doing. Okay, because that's just the competition thing. That's the competition grind. Same in the Olympics, right? So they don't want to stop what they're doing. So either it's ignorance, but most of the time, like I said, it's just straight body neglect because they know what they're doing and they know there's probably going to be consequences, but they don't want to know about it. Consequences, all right? They don't want to know about them. So this is the pro bodybuilder stupidity. And what's the answer? I guess I'm just going to end this video with this. What is the answer to pro bodybuilders? You know, 80 to 90% of pro bodybuilders having heart wall thickening, and from that, some amount of heart dysfunction. Okay? And I don't want to name names, but, you know, look at any of the guys that are big right now on social media, especially some of the people that have shot up or risen up in the past couple of years. You guys know who I'm talking about. Well, that could be a couple people actually, but I guarantee, again, 80 to 90% of them, they have heart wall thickening and heart dysfunction. It's just on a scale of how bad. And they're likely much, much more likely, you know, double, triple, fourfold, depends how much of it they have, but they're that much more likely, 1 to 4 times more likely to have a heart attack and drop dead. And that's also why you saw all these bodybuilders dropping dead left and right from COVID, because COVID, you know, affects the heart directly, right? We know that. So then that combined with heart wall thickening, and, you know, just, I'm not going to get into it. You know, it's sad what's happened in the bodybuilding world. But guys, this is it. This is the end of the video. Pro bodybuilder stupidity. You know, what can you do about it? And we'll get out of here. The only thing that we can do about it is talk more about it. And, you know, if you're a bodybuilding coach, get your clients imaged. Don't just tell them, hey, let's do, you know, Phil Heath. I saw a video of Phil Heath talking about, this is from his own mouth, so this isn't gossip. Phil Heath was talking about how he used, you know, 1,750 milligrams of testosterone, right? For, you know, that's the highest he went with testosterone. And that's just testosterone. I'm sure that he had used other stuff in there and you know, along with GH and insulin. You can bet he's got some, you know, he had some issues from that, okay? And all these other people doing these amounts. So the thing is that the only thing we can do is talk about it and make people aware of it. And the second thing is to tell people to get their heart imaged. Go get echocardiograms done, okay? Because when you see you're having heart problems, that from there, you need to make a choice. You make a choice between you and between God. What are you going to do? Are you going to keep abusing your body, or are you going to stop, okay? All right, and if you're married, you have kids, you're really going to, you know, you're really going to just play Russian roulette continually, okay? So that's the thing, guys. And, you know, people need to talk about this. Like I said, I'm the only whistleblower that I see. And then also people need to get these echocardiogram and heart imaging done if you know, they wonder if this is happening to them. Guys, set Spartan, stay safe, stay healthy, do everything right, safely, legally, under doctor supervision. get plugged into my clinic, or, you know, there's plenty of good clinics that you can go to get, you know, high dose testosterone replacement, and that's fine, or even HGH replacement, you know, that's fine. The problem is when you say, hey, I'm going to be double, triple, 4 or 5 times the amount, you know, of a 18-year-old male, you know, and you do this for, you know, any extended length of time, you're likely going to run into issues. And, you know, the first thing is probably going to be heart wall thickening, because the plaque buildup is more of a gradual thing, all right, from anabolics. Again, go watch my other video if you want more information. Seth Spartan, stay safe, stay healthy, and more videos coming soon as always, and we're out of here. Boom.